It's Green Week here on Studio 10, and what is more green than recycling? And that's why we have Lori here, Lansing Sustainability Manager, joining us today. Welcome into Studio 10.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me here.
Yeah, so let's talk recycling. We're going to kind of go over some of the do's and don'ts, because I feel like there's nothing worse than someone at home that wants to recycle and help the earth, but they just do one little thing that can throw everything off.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the do's.
Yeah, and that's called wish cycling. When people really want to recycle and get it right, and they sometimes are too excited and they put things in their bin that shouldn't be in there. So I've brought a few things with me today to kind of show examples of what can be recycled. So common household materials like junk mail here, just the kinds of offers and flyers and things that come to your home. And this is what we call box board, the type of packaging that's often used for crackers and cookies and yogurt
like that
casing.
thinner kind of cardboard.
Thin cardboard, exactly. We take plastics like your average ketchup bottles or mayonnaise or anything you might have in your refrigerator or at home. Plastic cups, metal cans, aluminum. Where we find some people get confused usually is around plastics. There's so many different types.
Yes.
And the number one contaminant in our recycling stream are these plastic grocery bags here.
Oh, really?
And so we all get tons of them. If you go to the grocery store, you might forget your reusable bags, or you get these plastic shopping bags. They can be recycled if you take them back to the stores.
Okay.
Many stores have collection bins in their lobbies, but they don't belong in the curbside bin. And what happens when you put them in there and they go to the recycling center, they get wound around in this high-tech equipment that they use to sort it, and they actually have to stop production and have people crawl into the equipment and cut these out of the processing equipment. So you can imagine how much problems that causes in the recycling process.
Wow.
Stops everything. So these are definitely the number one concern.
Okay.
But things like styrofoam, polystyrene, egg cartons, and food packaging, those things are recoverable also, but you have to take them to a drop-off site, not in your bin.
Okay.
So,
anything else in terms of, we were talking about a little bit about recycling, but you know that saying, reduce, reuse, recycle. What about reduce and reuse? Is there some everyday habits that we can do that kind of can help be more green here? Yeah,
absolutely. Recycling is great, but reusing and reducing are actually preferable. So think about the purchases before you buy them. So think about whether an item can be recycled or reused, or think about the packaging that it comes in and what you're going to have to do to dispose of it at the end of its life. Those kinds of decisions can be really impactful. And then if you do have an item that, say, you're just getting rid of, maybe it's clothing or a household item, make sure you donate it if it's in good usable condition and not just toss it. Why is this so important,
not only here in mid-Michigan, but in the States and, around the world, that we do these little things? How much can that add up?
Yeah, it adds up to make a huge difference. Recycling is, I think, the gateway kind of behavior to more environmentally sustainable behaviors, because it's something that a lot of people have access to. They can set it out at their curb or go to a drop-off site. Recycling saves energy. It saves natural resources. It keeps this stuff out of our landfills. So there's many environmental benefits to doing it, and it's relatively easy for many of us.
Yeah, and if people at home want to, begin this or, continue this, or just make sure that they're doing everything correctly, I guess what's a good resource or a website that they can go to keep up?
LansingMI.gov, and we have a whole page for our capital area recycling and trash program with all the recycling and do's and don'ts and lots of tips and other resources there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and happy Green Week here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.